you see we were talking about the Mount Rushmore of hip hop in the last decade with Drake and Future and Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. And we were saying like Future and Travis might be the contenders for the fourth spot. That actually when the Rap Caviar, they did that put out that image initially that sparked that conversation. They did a Twitter poll and they were like, who would be the fourth pick for the 2010s? And they had like Nicki Minaj, Future, Kanye, maybe Lil Wayne, and Nicki Minaj had the most votes because her fan base is just the most active when it comes to anything relating to her on Twitter. And they actually uploaded the updated version with Nicki Minaj as the fourth face. And I think that is accurate. That's well represented. I mean, just because she's a female artist, she had major success.
If you look at her numbers, it's
and her impact and everything, and what she's done for female rappers, it definitely checks out. And but I saw this thing before we started recording tonight. There was someone posted a SoundCloud Mount Rushmore, and on it had X, Lil Uzi Vert, and Juice WRLD on it, and the fourth face had a question mark on it. Is there anybody that you could think of that could fill that fourth space void? I think that Juice WRLD is actually a little bit skeptical. I mean, I don't even know if I would consider Juice WRLD a part of that era because that was like 2016, 2017. Yeah. He blew up in 2018. The type of music that was popular, like the type of music that came out of the SoundCloud, any artist recorded in the room, uploaded something on there just by themselves, and it kind of exploding era had a lot to do with like the emotional shit. Lil Peep should be on that one. Maybe not instead of Juice WRLD, but they could add him on there. He would be the fourth one. That makes sense. I'm trying to think. Who was on the 2016 XXL freshman cover? 21 Savage. He wasn't really SoundCloud. Like, Kodak wasn't SoundCloud. Lil Yachty, maybe? I think that Lil Yachty could be a contender. Lil Peep, he should be solidified on that. He kind of caters to a different audience than the people that are on there.
Dat Piff, like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think Lil Peep is definitely on that. And it's weird because if you put Lil Peep as a third person on there, so that means 75% of the Mount Rushmore of the SoundCloud era is dead.
Where because the thing with SoundCloud is like you can release on there for free now, but there's not really a point. Like every other access point to like mainly distributing your music is open. Whereas before it wasn't.
Yeah,
like
it's very easy to put your music on a Spotify now.
Yeah, it's not like you need to be like this fucking
hoops
giant artist to meet these levels where you can distribute your music.
Or even back then, you may have had to do a little bit more research than now. Like anybody can fucking fart on a record and export it and put it on Spotify.
Exactly.
But back then, that's where that music was going, was SoundCloud, and that's what there was such a big community on SoundCloud because it was a social media network for music.
For some gold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that freedom.
And a lot of careers, were produced from that era.
Because you didn't need to have that step up to a major label to get on, or to have this heavy access to get into these major discussions where you could just jump on SoundCloud and do it.
Yeah.
And that's why I said Dat Piff before. It was like there was certain avenues for you to put that music out there to all these people that were really looking for it. I don't feel like that, and I feel like we talked about this kind of before. I don't feel like that there's a necessity for that anymore, like a mixtape. Like the mixtape is kind of dead because like there's not really an avenue for you to put it out there. Like Dat Piff is kind of extinct. People still put things on it, but it's not really a type of platform.
If Lil Pump had more longevity, then I think he could go on the SoundCloud Mount Rushmore because there was a time where he was the biggest one, I would think, out of all of them as far as just like who could gather the most attention and just the amount of views and all of that shit. But he really kind of jumped. He kind of fell off there. But X, Lil Peep, Lil Uzi, and then it's kind of like, is it like Juice WRLD is just as influential as they are, but I don't know, is he from the SoundCloud era? I guess
Juice WRLD.
But I feel like Juice WRLD came out like in early 2018. That's when everyone was really listening to him and
shit.
Definitely
popped off of something.
Yeah, he probably did. He probably got his first amount of his first high amount of streams off of SoundCloud. I think that's what would define someone as like a SoundCloud artist to me. Would mean
but
was their first big break from the SoundCloud platform, or was it he had a music video with Lyrical Lemonade that was put out on their channel that then had him reach the most amount of people that he's ever reached so far, then gained him lifelong fans that he could tour off of and have bigger songs from that. But I guess to get to that point, you need to have some success that you make for yourself first, which probably would have came from SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So I think X, Juice World, Lil Uzi Vert, and Lil Peep. That makes sense. That was a good pick. Another thing. What else did I have in here real quick?